Oh, hang on. It's all right. Just got to fix my thingy up. Yeah. Namaste, everybody. It's Gayatri, and I'm here for a very quick and easy cook-up. I always do very quick and easy recipes. That's just the way life rolls for me. Quick and easy is good. So this is a very banana-y banana cake. It's vegan. You can make it non-vegan if you want to add dairy. And it's got a lot of bananas in it. It's quite a substantial cake. I've had to halve the recipe because the full recipe was for a very big cake. We make big cakes here for the mantra room, so it's a double sort of mix. So I've had to actually halve this one so we get a nice family size or single size if you're a big eater and you like a lot of cake. So we'll start. We are going to start. What we're going to do is we're going to put the dry ingredients in one bowl and the wet ingredients in another bowl, and then we add them together. So that's one way that you can make a cake, and that's the way I like because it's pretty easy and simple to do and you're not too much washing up. So we've got bananas mashed. Nice ripe bananas makes for a sweeter cake. So we've got 4. We've got some coconut yogurt, but you can also use natural yogurt if you're not a vegan. And I'll be putting this, I'll put the recipe in straight after we finish this video. So it'll be on this post if you need to look back over the ingredients so you don't have to write them down. We need 1.5 cups, we've got half a cup of plain yogurt. 4 bananas, half a cup of plain yogurt, and we've got 3/4 of a cup of milk. And we've got half a cup of sunflower oil. And we mix that together. Doesn't take long, just mainly you need to mix it mainly to get the oil distributed through so it's not all just sitting on the top. Okay, that should do it. We've got our dry ingredients now. So we've got 2.5 cups of self-raising flour. Oop. We've got 4 teaspoons, so we're halving it. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I hope I've got this right. You know what it's like when you halve a recipe and you forget to halve half the ingredients. It can turn a little bit ugly. We've got 1 cup of brown sugar. That looks like 2 cups to me. You reckon that looks like 2 cups? Have I gone overboard? No, it's 1 cup. I remember doing it. Yep, no, that's right. And we've got 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon and 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Now you can go wild with the cinnamon if you really like cinnamon. Another added extra you could put in this cake is some ginger powder. I love banana and ginger, so I would go to town with the ginger powder myself. And we're going to just mix this up a little bit just to distribute the ingredients through. Okay, you just want to make sure there's no lumps of sugar. And then we are going to add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. And we fold it through. Don't be too rough with your cakes. They tend to go very dense if you stir them too much. So just be gentle. You just want to fold it through until the flour is all mixed into the wet ingredients, but just doing it gently and as little as possible. So once it's distributed, don't keep folding. You just fold it enough to get it mixed through. Okay, and we've got our pan. I'm using a square one. You could use a round one if you like. Just, I don't know what size that would be. 25 centimeters, 25 by 25 or something like that. I don't know. That's the size anyway. I haven't measured it. And then we pour the mix into the baking tray, and always make sure you put some of the baking sheet into the bottom, and then you'll be easily able to remove it. I always leave 2 of the sides quite high that come above the cake tin, so I can just pull it out when I'm ready. Or you can just leave it in the tin and ice it in the tin, but I prefer to take it out and let it cool, because sometimes if you leave it in the tin for a long period, while it cools down, it can tend to steam and make the bottom of your cake a little bit soggy. So I like to take it out and let it cool. Okay, so there we go. We'll just pat it down. And this goes into a fan-forced oven if you've got one. Fan-forced cooks really evenly. And once you've had a fan-forced oven, it's really hard to go back to not having one, but I think all ovens these days are fan-forced unless you've got a really old one. So this one is 170 degrees for 40 minutes. Fan-forced, probably 160. So you don't need it up as so high. Okay, so we'll pop this in the oven. Oven's already preheated. I think because this is a smaller one, you probably don't need 40 minutes. We've already cooked one this morning. How long did that one take? It took 40. Okay. It'll take 40 minutes even though we're halving. So I've already cooked one this morning. That's the finished product there. And we are going to ice this one. This is a really nice, creamy, whipped vegan icing. So we've just used vegan butter, but if you're not a vegan, you can use just ordinary butter. We've used 2 tablespoons of soft butter, 3 cups of icing sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1/4 cup of lemon juice. But I really think don't just dump the whole 1/4 cup of lemon juice in, because it can go runny. You know what it's like making these things. Sometimes you need more than others. It depends on the powdery, ingredients. So sometimes the icing sugar may vary, and you'll find that you need a lot less. So what I did, I mixed the butter. I used my hand mixer to mix the butter and sugar and the vanilla, and then I just kept adding a little bit of lemon juice until we got a nice, you can see how nice and whipped that is. It looks sort of like whipped cream. So we pop this on the top. So you can halve the icing if you don't like a lot, but it's a really yummy icing, this one. So I think you'll probably need to make the whole batch. Some people I know would prefer just to have the icing, bowl of icing. I've got a few friends who just like the icing. And you could put some grated lemon rind on the top too to fancy it up, or a little bit of desiccated coconut just to sprinkle over the top, but I quite like it just like this. You could put some nuts. You could also, in this cake, you could add walnuts or some dates. Just stir some dates through. And there we go. So you could change it up, make your own design. That's the good thing about cooking. You can create your own. So you get the recipe and then add different things to it, and you've made the recipe your own. Okay, so let's cut this and show you how moist it is. So there you go. Very, very moist, banana-y banana cake that's very simple and easy to make. And it tastes delicious. I'm going to have a little sliver here. I did test it before, but I'm going to test it with the icing now. Delicious. I recommend you make this one. It's not going to last long. It does freeze well, if it lasts long enough to go into the freezer. So, until next week, namaste. If you have any questions and comments, just pop them down below and we'll answer them if we can.